Hi, my name is Christy Wilson. I'm here to talk a little bit about the homeless situation that has been causing problems for families across America. But in specific, I'm going to be talking a little bit about here in Maine. So I work here in Maine and we frequently see families struggling with homelessness. I work out of the Department of Health and Human Services here, and we definitely tell families that homelessness is not a reason why children come into care, which is a very interesting fact. So there are three general reasons why homelessness happens. So it'd be the lack of housing, mental health issues, and then generally the change of the economy. So jobs are changing, things like that. And especially here in southern Maine, we deal with a lot of tourists that come in, and so we see a lot of seasonal changes, as well as we've had a huge influx within the last year. There's been a 7% rise from 2017 to 2018 in the housing grid, and it's raised from there as well. The median home currently in 2019, the price of that is $255,000, while in 2018 it was only $215,000. Right now, I have experienced families who are coming to look for places to live, saying that they have full-time jobs, but they can't find safe and affordable housing in the area, which is a real concern because people deserve a safe place to live. Because of the homeless issue, our homeless shelters here in Maine are bogged down with waiting list people calling daily. The way that homeless shelters work here in southern Maine is that you need to call daily to reserve your spot on the wait list. So people that are homeless not only have to find a way to make a phone call every 24 hours, which is really difficult if you don't have the resources already to get a phone, like to buy a home, let alone a phone. So that's a huge, I would say, problem. And the wait list, I mean, right here in York County, I think there's 4 beds at the family shelter. That means there could be, 15 plus families waiting. Across the state, there have been homeless encampments that have been popping up, and this has caused a huge issue because people are like, we love our pretty, beautiful Maine. We don't want homeless people here. And so in Portland, they had a place called Tent City that they actually in 2016 had people evacuate. But a quote from Trisha Levitt, 31, who lived in the Tent City, said, "We're not bothering anybody, so why are the police bothering us? Why can't you leave us in peace until we find permanent places? I'd rather sleep in a tent than deal with bed bugs in a shelter. If I'm going to live with bugs, I'm going to live outside." So not only are people dealing with cramped housing, not enough homeless shelters, which is caused by lack of federal funding and state funding, families are just really struggling to afford the median home. So right now, the households that can't afford a home right now in Maine is 60%. 60. That is a huge number just because of the amount and the need for houses, and people are, going and buying more in Maine because of that. So I personally have worked with the homeless shelter here in the town that I'm working in right now in York County, and they've actually given me donations for families. But I was really shocked when I actually showed up at the shelter because it just looked like a house. I had grown up in the town and I didn't even know that it was a shelter. So my perception really changed after, and it really made me realize that we need more services to address this need. Additional information that I personally find really valuable is that I'm a part of the communities that are protecting parents and children, and so it really is about community members coming together to find ways to keep children safe and keep families out of the system. And right now, again, it's what I'm hearing is a major problem is the waiting list for homelessness, or for the waiting list for homeless shelters, as well as just the lack of actual houses for people. We live in such a area that's so, in York, there's a family actually in York who I think was trying to find a place to live, and they had to go, I think, 40 minutes north because there wasn't affordable housing, because that's where a lot of the people stay that are tourists, and they jack up the prices year round and make it really difficult for these workers who have to, commit to these places to be able to stay and then raise families and meet their own people's needs. So there definitely is issues that need to be addressed. And I think, the median housing income is ridiculous right now. A house The home price affordable is $212,000. That's what we can afford here in Maine. $212,000, $100,000, but the median house is $255,000. That is ridiculous, and that's expensive. That is a lot of money. If you look across the state or across the country, houses cost less in general in different places. And not only are these older houses that generally need repairs, families are really stuck. So we really need some, support and recognition from the government that this isn't a people problem, it's an economy problem, it's a lack of services problem, and it's a lack of housing problem. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.